Hi, everyone. So for those who were not able to make it today to the Google Doc session, or for those who need just a reminder of how to work Google Docs, I'm going to go over that right now. So I did a few things today in Google Docs. This is the one that I started on just to make some changes and edits to it. I'm going to delete everything and then we can go over it. Or not. There we go. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do when you open up a new Google Doc is create a title for it. If you put a title on the front of your page, so I can make it say Google Docs help, oops, there we go. Oh, I added the S to the wrong thing. Let's see. There. And then when I edit, when this is brand new and I click on this, it'll make it, there we go. It'll make the title of the page the title of the document, which is kind of nice. If you would like to put it into a folder in your Google Drive, you can hit this button right here. And then all your folders from your Google Drive will pop up. And you're able to go into that and choose which folder you would like it to go into and save it to there, so that way you know where it is in the future. So Google Docs is a lot like Word. It's just harder to find some things. There's a few differences though. You're not able to click on multiple things. You have to have the whole thing at all times, which makes it a little frustrating sometimes, but it still is doable. Also, there's a function in tables that works in Word, but not in Google. So I'll go over that in a bit. While we're on this of highlighting, if you're ever highlighting anything in your Google Doc and you want to transfer it somewhere else to the page, you just highlight it and click it and drag it, and it'll go down to where it is. It doesn't, you can't see it as well on this because I don't have that much information on here right now, but clicking, like if I want to just take help and I want to put it down below, I have to make just on here really quick. I can put it down below. You're just clicking and dragging it to where you would like it to go. Let's see, to set up your page, you would go to File and you go to Page Setup. And that's where you can change it to landscape. You can change the margins and the size of the paper. You can also change the background color. And you can set it to default. So my default settings are, I like my margin small because I would like to fill up as much of the paper as I can. This helps, especially when you're printing papers out. It uses up less paper. So you can adjust it as you want and then set it to default. So this is my default setting, and this is how I like it on all my docs. So if you are having students write up a doc and you want to give them feedback as they're doing so, if you highlight what you would like to give them feedback on and then click this little button, add a comment, you can give them feedback directly in here. So you can say need to fix. And then that allows them to see your comments and they can click resolve when they have fixed it. It comes in very handy when you're giving feedback to students. Also, if you're working on a document with your coworkers and you're coming up with things that need to be done, let's say need to create a form for I don't know, for anything. You can highlight it, comment, and if you add the plus button, you can type in their names. I'm going to add my daughter right here. And then I can say, this is for you to do. And she will get, now if it's a coworker, they will get an email saying that this is what you have assigned to them. If it's a student, however, they do not get emails through Gmail, and they don't have an Outlook like we do, so they will not see it. So this only works if you're doing it with coworkers, but not with the students, unfortunately. So up here is pretty much where you're going to find everything. For font, you can change the font in here. They have pre-set fonts in here, but if you would like to add more, you can go to more fonts. They have a bunch in here. You just click on them and it'll add to your library over here when you click OK. And then your stuff is changed to that too already. The font size is right here. If you would like a quick shortcut for font size. If you hit Control and Shift and the greater than button on your thing, you will be able to increase the font size without going into here. And that way you can get it just how you would like it. I think I have it right now. Yep, I have it set to double. You can set it to single if you would like. For line spacing, I just like to set it to double if I'm having my students write responses in between. It just allows them more room. Let's see, you can change the font color right here. You can also highlight if you need to. So there's a bunch of stuff that you can do in here. That's a lot like Word. It's just getting used to it and finding it that is the challenging part. So for the tables, let's go over that. So you're going to go to Insert Table. You can make your table however big you would like. If you would like to adjust the size of them, whatever you would like to adjust the size to, you could just adjust the size of a few of them. You go to here and then you go to Table Properties. This is where you can adjust everything. You can add a color if you would like. You can align it all in the middle if that's what you would like. And then you can actually change the border too. So I can make the border bigger if I would like. And so see how the color is now changed? The border is just, I don't know if that is bigger. Let me see. It is a little bit bigger. I'm going to make it way bigger, make it more noticeable. And so it changed it for everything and not just my highlighted sections. That's why. But you can do this however, whatever you would like to do. You can still do that up in here. So I can change the border. Oh, I can just change the selected portion up there if I want to. If you would like two cells to go together, you select, or more than that, if you would like whatever you would like for your cells, you click them or you highlight them, then you right click and you hit merge cells, and then all the cells will come together and you'll have one box. Now you can only do this up and down or side to side, but you cannot do it. So I could probably do it with all that, but it has to be the same length, if that makes sense. And then you have one big box. I can't do like this box and then this box over here and merge it into like an L-shaped box. It won't work. See, that's one thing that you can do in Word that you can't do on here, is that you can, in Word you can just delete lines, and here you can't. The lines don't just go away. So that's something that it's different between Word and Docs. But it's just getting used to it again and just knowing what you can and cannot do. If there is something though that you would like to add that requires a little bit more detail, you can click this thing called Drawing. It's Insert, Drawing, and New. And when you do this, you can add a bunch of different things. So you can add a text box, and you can change the font on here just like we did in there. And you can change the size, and I can change where it's located at. Say I want it in the middle. So if I do that, I can make the size of it around it better. Okay, and then if I want to add a picture, I can go to, this button right here, Image, Search. I like Ivy on my stuff. Oh, and then you can change it to Clip Art, and you'll get more of this kind of stuff. You can type in transparent too if you would like your image to be transparent, which is easier when dealing with it. This one is already transparent, so I can put it in here. I can turn it. This is basically just like a drawing pad for your Google Doc. So I can put this on here. The lines let you know when it's centered. The two parts are centered. If you would like to add a background to it, you can go into here, go to Shapes, and cover your image. Now, this will cover the entire image, and that's okay. So what you're going to do, if you want everything to pop back up, you're going to right-click once that shape is selected. You're going to go down to Order, and then you're going to go down to Send it to the back. And now it's in the back. So now we can see all of our other pretty stuff. And I can add a background to it. You can change the border if you would like the border to be changed. You can make it thicker. You can give it a little design and whatnot. So then you can add it into your Google Doc. Just like that, it'll be one image. Oh, it's highlighted. Let's see. No, I want you to take away the highlighting. There we go. Okay. So I just adjusted it. I did the wrap text. It's going to take a little bit for it to load again, but it's an image. You can make the image bigger, you can make the image smaller, but it'll all stay to the same scale as what you did in your drawing. If you need to edit it, you can hit edit. It's not going to work right now. I messed around with it too quickly and it's not happy with me. So that comes in handy when you're wanting to add things onto your Google Doc that need to kind of be, that you can move around freely without any limitations. And then once it's put onto the doc, it gives you just a few little limitations. So this is one of the ones that I have done. This is a drawing that I did. It is right now messing with my words. So if you notice on here, there we go. Okay, so now they're back to normal. This is a drawing that I did that I added because I wanted this little header and I wanted the IV around it. This is a document that I'm going to be giving my students to let them know when I'm available and which subjects I'm going to be available for. So every other day I'm going to have general science availability for a little over an hour. And then I will have astronomy availability, but I will always have office hours every day for them between those times. So I'm only focusing on general science at these times, and I'm only focusing on astronomy at these times. Now I wanted the kids to be able to access the Zoom meetings for these through this. So this is a HyperDoc, which it just means it has a bunch of links on it for the kids. So if they click on this, they'll have a link to the Zoom meeting so that way they can just get on. So it's one paper for them to go to for the Zoom meetings for them. And I also put the dates on it, so it's just easier for them, and color coded it. Now here again, I used that merge so that the way this is one box, and I added a little detail to it. When you are linking in stuff into a doc, you can click this button right here up here. It says insert link, or you can use the shortcut Control K. Now Control K works in Outlook, it works on Google Docs, it works on Google Slides, it works pretty much everywhere. You're just going to highlight what you want to link and you hit Control K. Now my link is already in here, but you can alter it if you need to. Oh, it changed the thing. Here, let me just go back. There we go. I changed the color on it so it's not that blue for all of them. So if I wanted to link general science, I would hit K, and then I would copy and paste the link in here. Now copy is Control C, paste is Control V. So if I wanted to add a YouTube video in here, I'm gonna go to YouTube. So let's say I wanted to add neutron stars in here. I am just going to take this, Control C, and then Control V. It's very simple and very easy. If you want to remove the link, you just hit remove the link. Oops, I removed it right there, wrong spot. So if I go up here, I can just hit, you can take the link and you can just delete it too, or you can hit remove link. It's not going to do it for me. There we go. Okay. So there, the link is now removed from there. Now I'm going to show you something that Amy Burke is the one that designed. I don't want to take credit for it, but I'm using it. I believe Jenny Keyport sent out an email about these HyperDocs that Amy had designed that we are using. So this is something that I'm going to be using for astronomy. It is what they are going to be getting each week. I have the week that it is. I have the due date on here. I know attendance was mentioned, but I'm not sure how we're going about it yet. So I just went ahead and did a Google form on it and told the students the even days, because I teach astronomy on even days, what days I want them to fill out the attendance format. Now I can easily delete this if we're not taking attendance, but it's just something that I wanted to do ahead of time. So each day my students, or is for the week, so this is what they're going to be doing the entire week. Now this is a HyperDoc, which means again that there's just links embedded into it for the kids to access. So I have my kids doing Edpuzzles. I have them going into the timeline of our universe over here, another Edpuzzle, and then a Google form at the end. So they're going to slowly work through this and get everything complete by the end of the week. So this is the only thing that I'm going to be posting into Google Classroom for them to access instead of posting all these little links in there. And this way I can put on my directions and everything that I would like for them to do. Now to access these little pictures, It's very simple with Google. They make it very nice. If you highlight the word you're wanting to search for the picture and right click and go to Explore Google Form, because that's the word that I highlighted, it'll give you images of Google Forms, but it'll also give you the logo that you can add in then to your Google Doc. There's also the Explore button right here that you can access if you would like to look up something else. And it's picking up pieces that I talked about within this Google Doc. That makes it very nice. You can search up definitions or images and whatnot. Okay, so another important part of this, if you are having students type in their own work. I did this a year ago with my astronomy kids. Let me see, I'm trying to get to it. Let's see, add to go. So I had the students do a group project where they typed up information each day into their Google Doc. And I wanted to see who was contributing and when. So I warned them that if they were contributing to the doc, they needed to be onto their account and typing information in, so that way I would see it. So I edited the document this morning, and so my name is coming up on here, but about a year ago, these students were on here. Some of these students aren't here anymore. So when I was grading their work, I went through their doc, and you can see who did what. And how you see that is their stuff that they contributed will be highlighted. So you can see Grace was the one who added this picture. I believe it was just pictures being added. Okay, so here, Mia added this information in. Grace, I think, oh, nope, still Mia right here. And then another student was right here. So you can kind of see where they are. So they were kind of all working on this together. So I can see who's contributing and when. If you're doing an individual assignment, you can see what they added and how quickly they added. So if you click this box right here, it'll pull up more individual information and what time. So you can kind of see how fast your students are doing this. Are they doing it faster? Are they doing it slow? And then you can see if anybody else was on the document too. It makes it very useful when the students are working independently at home. You can see if they're copying and pasting information, because if 1 minute goes by and they have a whole page typed, they're probably doing something else. So it's nice to see just what's happened. You can also, if you want to go back to a certain one, if you hit these 3 buttons right here, you can make a copy of it, so that way you have another whole copy of it, or you can name the version, or you can restore it to this version. So that means it'll just go back to this front one. So there's a lot of different things that you can do in here. And again, to get to this, I just went all changes saved in Drive. I clicked that and I was able to see everything. You can also print the page if you would like as well, or pages. Okay, let's see. There are add-ons too that you can get to Google Docs. If you click this, the district has added on a few ones. This one, I guess elementary school teachers really like, and I used it one time. I haven't used it since. You can make rainbow fonts just like this. And you can pick the different shades you want, the font colors and the number of rainbows. It's fun, I guess, but I'm not really into that kind of stuff. But I have it on here. The district has added a few other ones. I'm not sure what all of these do, but if you want more, you can click Get Add-ons, and it'll give you everything that you can add to your Google Doc. Now, not all of these you can add on. The district has to approve it first. So if it says this right here, that means you cannot add it onto your Google Doc. I believe, though, that you might be able to email tech services and see if they can add it on for you and approve it. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. But I know that there is a way to get it approved. I just don't know how to go about that. Now, if you would like to share your doc with students or coworkers or anything, you can hit share right here, and you can decide if you want them to view it, comment, or edit only. So if they're going to edit, you can click this and then you can copy the link and send them the link. Or you can just enter their names. Also, their 99 numbers work. So you can do it that way, and then you can decide if they can edit, comment, or view before you send it off to them. Now, these are the students that have access to this already, and I can see who opened it, who created it, and then who has editing power and who you can change it to can only view. So once you send it off, it is not permanent. They will, you can change it at any time. You can also set an expiration for how long they can view it or how long they can edit it for on here, which makes it pretty nice. So nothing's permanent, but so you can always change it and adjust it if you need to. So there we go. If you would like to add a header to this, you just double click up here. You can make the first page different, and I normally do like their name and the date and the period up in here. You can center it. There's options. You can add page numbers. You can add it on the footer starting at 1, and then they'll be down here. And again, to get out of it, you just double click. If you want to get back in, you double click. And that'll be on it for every single one. If you have any questions, Google is pretty good about having everything in here that they can help with. If you have any questions, you can always ask me as well. I don't mind helping. I'm trying to think of anything else to go over. There's equations for in here for math. You can also do, insert, special characters, and there are special characters in here that you can add on to as well. Your Google Calendar can be opened too over here. If you are looking at dates and times or wanting to add something. There's also tasks and Google Keep that you can add on, or that you can open up here too in the side. There's a lot of features on here. Oh, one more important thing. When we're in the calendar, or a table, I'm sorry, a table, and you add in the bullets. And let's say that you don't want that bullet so far out, like you only have this much space and you really don't want it taking up half of it. If you hit this little arrow up here, move it over just a bit, then your bullet point will also move over just a bit. If you've already begun typing, you are going to want to make sure to highlight everything you want to have moved over for that. And then that'll make it just easier and nicer when you're typing. Let's see, let me make sure I went over everything. It looks like that's about it. If you guys have any questions or you need me to go over something else, please let me know. I can make a new video that can help you, or I can Zoom with you if you would like to. I am not doing anything, so I am home. So let me know if you need help. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.